Hey guys, this is Hetu and welcome back to etlqalabs. So I hope that you all are doing good. So guys, as we discussed in the previous session that we would start trying to cover the next bit in Python, and that's Python pandas, right? And because we have already covered a few things about Python, I think that's basic stuff. That's where we have covered variable, we have covered tuples, dictionary, and what else, list, etc. Right? That's those are the few important things that we have already covered, and then also we have covered some looping concept also, guys, right there. So that's I think more than enough in Python for now. And one of the most important thing that I would like to tell you that we will be using it from our automated ETL testing point of view is that we are going to use the Python pandas. And so Python pandas, I would like to cover some session. I will take you from very step by step, guys. So that will take a couple of session. And now I'm planning to do two videos in a week. So probably I will choose 2 days. One maybe Tuesday and Friday, guys. Okay. So I hope that is okay with you guys because I will do those videos like this 2 days, Tuesday and Friday, so that you have ample of time for to consume that also, right? So that's the whole idea about it. And I want this session to be very interactive. Basically, when I cover all this session, guys, you have to make sure that you are following along with me so that you do not miss out anything. And this is something that I am going to teach you that you are going to use in your real project, guys. Okay. So like any other things, that whatever I have taught, I am just telling you that whatever is needed from the pandas, because pandas I'll tell you what is pandas, but it's very important for us to learn as part of as a ETL tester, so that we can do our job very efficiently. We can automate it, certain processes, etc. I'll tell you why do we need pandas, and what is it, etc. in a bit. So guys, before that, let's do one thing. Let's try to see what is pandas, and then after that we will see the installation part if there is anything needed from our side, etc. So first of all, let me go to the wiki for pandas. So it says that pandas is basically it's a library written in Python programming language for data manipulation and analysis. So guys, this pandas is basically used normally used by the data scientists, are the professional who are working into data science. Probably they are actually using this pandas and numpy. So pandas basically stands for panel data, guys. Yeah. So it is derived from the panel data, and I'll tell you what all this panda does, and it's basically built on top of. Okay, let me try to write it something here. So it's basically built on top of NumPy. Okay, so NumPy is actually another library, Python library. That's full form is numerical Python. Okay, so Pandas is basically built on on top of numerical NumPy, right? And NumPy is basically written into C, right? And that's the reason it is very fast. Basically NumPy is fast, and then Panda is also built on top of NumPy, so and hence the Panda is also very fast, right? Pandas is a library like a NumPy, and it gives a lot of feature, basically lot of functions, many things you can do basically using this panda in a very simple way. That is the whole purpose of doing using these pandas, and that is the reason nowadays you see there are a lot of people who are actually market is booming for the data scientist, because of this pandas people are feeling more easy to learn data science, right? And that's the reason actually pandas is playing a very important role, right? And guys, this is open source, no need to pay anything. It's just one library that you can actually install it on top of your Python. As part of your Python you can just do it, and then you are all good. Okay, now let's go back to definition a bit, right? So it's a bit history about it, right? Who is that original author and when it was actually released, something like that, all those details. And what all the library features it is actually telling here, right? So library feature is basically you can actually do grouping, you can do what you say, sorting of the data, you can do some filtering of the data, etc. So many things you can do that we will see it, and we will also see that what are the features. So right now I will be covering most of the things, but then when it comes to testing, I'll tell you which all the things that we are actually using. I'll show you how do we actually operate all those functions on our file. So I will take some sample file, and based on that I will show you when we have to test these files, how do we actually extract the data. All right. Now two things that we need to know, guys, here. Okay. So about pandas. So there are two data structure for the pandas. Okay. Two data structure types are date are, I would say, object types. All right. We have two object types. One is called data frame that we need to understand, and second one you need to understand is the series. Okay. All right. What is data frame and series, guys? Basically, data frame is kind of, it's a two-dimensional array kind of things. Two-dimensional array, which is basically which provides your x-axis and y-axis, that is rows and columns, right? Rows and columns, guys. Okay. That's two-dimensional, right? Something very similar to your Excel sheet, right? So Excel sheet is having rows and columns, something like that data frame. I'll show you, don't worry about it. Now that's called the data frame, two-dimensional array. And then series is kind of one-dimensional array. This is something like a column only. We don't have rows, right? Sorry, we have a single column and multiple rows. One column and multiple rows basically, right? So we don't have multiple columns here, only one. So that's why it is called. So you can consider that one of the column in that data frame is called a series, right? Simply. That we will see it, guys. Don't worry about it. But just know that there are two data structure are two objects. Object type in pandas. One is data frame and other one is series that we will look at later, right? So we will be using most of the time these two data objects because we will be operating on them, right? Now, what pandas is capable of doing? Now we will not go much into understanding definition, theoretical definition. This is enough for you to understand the pandas. Now what we need to understand is how do we first even install the pandas, and how do we, is there any different tool that we need to use? So what we have to do, guys, we have to do two things before we start actually panda series. One thing is we have to actually install one tool called Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Jupyter Notebook, and then pandas library also we need to install, right? Because we have not installed it yet in our Python, right? So we have to actually install it specifically. So what is Jupyter Notebook, guys? So now we are actually using here PyCharm, right? But PyCharm is something that you can write a program, big program, and you can execute it. That is all fine. But in terms of visualization, PyCharm is not best for pandas. You can actually use PyCharm also because we just need the Python or pandas interpreter. Here also we can get that, but it's not very so there are certain tools which actually we use for data science, right? Because we need immediate visualization and all those things. That's the reason we actually don't use the PyCharm or any a tool like VS Code, etc. We don't use it here for pandas, because that's pandas whole purpose of pandas is for the data analysis, right? For the data scientists. That's why we don't want to use it here. So we will instead we will use Jupyter Notebook. I'll show you how does it look. It's a Jupyter Notebook is basically it's a web UI, and that basically once you install it you can launch it, and then you can actually it runs on your local machine, right? On some port, and then you can actually uh, keep typing there. I mean, it will give you very nice visualization so that you can use it. So Jupyter Node we have to install for pandas. Okay. Instead of PyCharm, we don't want to use it. We can use it, I said, but we don't want to use it. And VS Code also, right? Any other ID we can use, but here we will use this. And then pandas library itself we have to install. So how do we install it, guys? It's very simple here. We have to just use the pip command and then we have to install it. So let's go back here and we will go to terminal here. All right. Hope you all have installed PyCharm, and when I go to terminal here, I got the command prompt. Now if I say let's install first Jupyter Notebook. Okay, pandas first. Okay, guys. Pip install pandas. That's it, guys. Nothing else. Okay. Let's try. So for me, guys, it says that requirement already satisfied because I have already done it. Okay. So when previously I have already done it. For you, it will take some time. You have to just be patient, and the prompt will be returned back to here. So you just have to say pip install pandas, and that is how you are done actually. And next time when you say, if you want to check pandas v, one second, guys, is it version? Sorry, pandas. Hmm, not sure. One second, guys. Okay, guys. So actually, how we can check it? You can say pip show pandas. Okay, and then it will give you all the details. It say the BSD3 cloud license is that, and then they are giving you some information like which version 1.4 etc. All those things are there, but you normally don't need to do anything. You don't need to check. Once it is installed, then if you say pip install pandas, then it will say you that requirement is already satisfied, which means it is already there, right? One thing is this one, guys, right? What else we have to do? We have to install. The second one is Jupyter Note, right? So Jupyter Note also we have to install. How do we need to do? Same way, pip install Jupyter. Some people call Jupyter. That's okay. I call it Jupyter Notebook. All right. Now see, guys, for me this is also installed. Okay. Requirement already satisfied and all. I am getting everywhere, right? Because it tries to install so many packages, and it says that everything is already satisfied, and the prompt is returned back here, right? So now for me, both this both this what you say packages are installed, so there is nothing left. Now I'm good to start, right? So make sure that you are done with this, and then you are all good to start with the pandas. Now I will do one thing. I will go to my folder Python, okay, and let me clear this. I want to clear everything. I want to just keep the data copy here, guys. Okay. All right. Now you also can create one folder somewhere wherever you are. Now you have to actually launch the pandas from here. Okay. Jupyter Note, not pandas. Jupyter Note from here, guys. Okay. Now what you have to do? You have to press Shift and right click. Then you will see something called Open PowerShell window right here. Click here. You will go to PowerShell windows here. Now you can actually you can if you so you can actually launch the Jupyter Notebook from here, right? So you have to just type is one second, Jupyter Notebook. All right, all right. So see, guys, this is so it is launched now, right? So this is what it actually first time it will ask you the browser etc. But for me this is, I think I have already used it before, so that's why it is actually launched already. Now there is a background. This is already running. Don't close it because this will be running in the background, and this is the UI. That's where you can use it. So you see Jupyter, and now I see here I have two data files, right? Whatever I have these two files, right, in the Python, data and employee file, right? So I had two files, and these files are here actually, right? Now what I can do is I can okay, so this is CSV file. If I see, I think you can't read it properly because it's opening in this mode itself. Now what you can do is actually let's start the pandas. Let's start using the pandas. How do we use it, guys? Okay. Now you have to go to new here. Okay, and we will be, guys, we will be using these two files to operate on the pandas operation, right? We will be using this. One is CSV, another one Excel file. Okay. Now, okay, before that, let me. Okay, I can. All right, let me do one thing, guys. Okay, even to read the files, I think we need for reading the Excel file, right? All right, guys. So let's do that part. Reading Excel and other file format. I will do the later point of time. For now, let's work on this particular CSV file. Okay, because CSV will come by default. Actually, you don't need to do anything. Now let's go here. So okay, where are we here, guys? Right now, I have to go to new. I have to see Python 3 here, and it will launch you another page. And here you see this is the prompt actually. That's where you have to write. So first you have to write import pandas as PD. You can write AD, BD, CD, anything, but this is the normal convention, guys. Everybody is following actually. Import pandas at PD, which means actually in PD I have imported the panda. Now I can use the reference of PD and then I can access all the functions, all the methods from here. All right. Now shift enter. It will go to the next prompt, right? You see, now this is the step number one. Now it is done. Now to read that particular CSV file, where this CSV file, it is there. Data.csv file is there here only in this particular location only, right? And so what I will do is I will say some variable, let's say df. That's where I'm going to hold. I will say pd dot read underscore CSV. Okay. This is the, so how do I know when I say dot and then I press tab, it will give you the options, right? So when I keep typing read CSVC, there are so many format that you can read: clipboard, Excel, Feather, JSON, HTML, Parquet file, so many different type of files you can read. But now we are going to use CSV because we are going to read the CSV now. Okay. Now we have to give that particular file name, data.csv, right? This is our file name, isn't it? This is that, right? So data.csv. Now guys, this is what we are able to, normally this is what we have to do. Now shift enter, I'll go to the next one. Now if I need to just display it, I can just say print df, and I will be able to see that data is coming into tabular format now. See, you see that everything coming in the tabular format, isn't it? Or maybe if you don't want to use print, you can just simply say df itself, it will work. It's better actually. Okay. So df, which means actually I want to display what is there in my data frame. Df, just the naming convention, I just said the df is one of the variable and I just given a name df1, df2, whatever you can give. And then I am just assigning the output of this into df, and df I am going to print it. Now what is happening, guys, in df I got the entire CSV file. Okay, this is the CSV file, and when I say CSV file, it's a comma separated file, guys, right? So this is the CSV file, and then I got everything, all the data that is there. So this one I have actually downloaded it from NSC website, guys. Okay, so I'll show you, you can also download it. This is the one, NSC Nifty 50 stock, because I got some data, ready-made data. That's the reason I just downloaded it. Okay, so if you go here, you can actually download CSV from here, right? So when you said downloads, you will get this data actually. Okay, this is actually Nifty 50 data. All right, for the stocks which are actually there in the Nifty 50, right? So this is how actually you can do it. All right. Now we are able to, so this particular things, right? So what is this, guys? This is a data frame. Why it is data frame? Because as definition I told, this is a two-dimensional array and which is having rows and column, right? So these are the columns, symbol, open, high, low, and these are the rows, right? So there are rows and columns, and this is called data frame. If I need to know what is the data frame, so I told you there are two types, right? So one is data frame and other one series. So let's try to understand what is data frame now. Data frame is this only, guys, right? So if I say type here, and if I just shift enter, so it's saying pandas.core.frame.data frame. So this def, whatever we have stored this particular CSV file now, reading it and storing it in data frame, this is nothing but data frame only, right? Now guys, let's try to understand what is series, right? So series, so let's say in this case, if I am interested to know only two columns or only one column, let's say, right? I don't want whole data here. I want only one column. So I can actually say something like this, symbol, okay, symbol, okay, all right, bracket and symbol, and when I say shift enter, it will give you this data. You see that, right? If I wanted one more column, then this is nothing, guys. This is list, right? You can see it, right? This is list actually. So now I will get, one second, guys. Is there any problem? Okay, one second. Okay. So this one, all right. Now I'll tell you. Now try to understand first. So this particular, instead of displaying all the columns, I am actually interested to display only symbol column, okay? And symbol column when I display, I am actually getting this particular value. And this is index, guys. This is index. This is by default actually, right? So we are not doing anything about this. This is by default. Pandas is actually giving the indexes. So from 0, index is always starting from 0. So it is just telling you that how many. It's just by default Panda is displaying. This is not there in the file basically. Okay. Now I am interested to, okay, let me show you one more time. Okay. Let's say I am interested to know only open, right? What is open probably. Okay. So what I can do is I can just give this uh, bracket and then single quote or double quote also you can give. I can just say open. Okay. Now I'll get all this value from this particular column. Okay. Shift enter. I got it, right? This is how you can do actually. So this is the way how you can actually fetch the so one column. If you want to fetch two columns, maybe let's say if I want, so we have to give as part of list only, right? So guys, until there it is not list. This is the square bracket, but this is not list. This is something that data frame, data frames structure. So data frame, and in the bracket we have to give this value. So this is single value. If I need to give more than two columns, in that case I have to supply them as a list, right? So like this actually, I will open it here. I will close it here, okay? And in the list, I will give one more. Let's say I want to give one more symbol here, right? Okay, let's try now. One second, guys. Something went wrong. Okay, here I have not closed, right? Okay, now it's done. See, now I got open and symbol. Now you notice one thing, guys. The order is also maintained, okay? In file, the symbol is actually before, means the first column is the symbol, but here actually I have considered second column as a symbol, and the same order is actually displaying here. So this is also one of the feature of the pandas. I mean, you can actually display in whichever order, how, whenever, wherever, in which order you are typing, in that order it will be displaying that particular column, right? Now what I wanted to tell you here is, I wanted to tell you now even this, okay, one second. All right. Okay, guys, I mean, you can give the list also, not a problem. If you are giving one value, it will display only one, okay? Don't worry about it. Now, considering this, we are actually having a single column here, right? Now this is, what is this? This is one dimensional. This doesn't have more than one column, right? It is only single column but multiple rows. So what did I say here? One column, but so this should be series basically, right? So single column is called series, okay? And the set of columns and set of rows are called data frame. All right, here. Now, if I want to check what is the type of this particular data that we got it now, so I will say it should say series. You see, 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. 1 second. I think I have to just remove this. Then it should give. Yes. Why it was giving you, because it was having the list bracket, right? So it was saying that if it is list, then it is actually obviously considering more than one column, right? But actually, in fact, I was giving only single column, right? So single column, open column, you see that pandas.core.series.series. So this is series, which means it is a single column, that is series. So as definite, don't go as per definition, just try to understand the concept. If it is having a single column, that is called a series, and having a multiple columns and multiple rows, then that is called tabular structure, something like Excel sheet, etc. That is going to be called as the data frame, right? So this is as simple as that. Yes, guys, hope you are able to understand it. And this is the very basic thing that we have done actually. We just try to, import the pandas and this try to read it. And then we wanted to display the whole content of this particular data frame. And then we also try to display the content of each, the separate columns, or how we can do it. We also checked we also looked at what is data frame and what is series, right? So this is the very first session, and I will continue to do it. As I said that let's do it on one video on Tuesday, and second one of the week is going to be on Friday. So I hope that it's you know it's helpful for you. I will see that if it is Friday or Thursday, guys, okay, based on the availability, but most probably I'll see that, okay. Tuesday and Friday will be maybe a bit difficult. So I'll see that, okay. It is Thursday or it is Friday. Okay, but yes, two video in a week. I'll try to do it, and then I think that will give you a lot of clarity for you. And you see, guys, how easily you can read any kind of file in Pandas. You see, only one line of code here: import Pandas, and then after that, data frame you are storing in data frame, and then after that, on this data frame you can do multiple operations that we will see later on. Okay, you can do filtering, you can do sorting, you can do deletion, you can do updation, everything you can do on this, right? So it's and also we can do the group by, right, that we use in SQL, right? So just to give you some glance, basically we will learn each and everything step by step. Hope this session is making sense to you and you are able to understand it. And so let's continue with the Panda series. I think that will take couple of sessions, and I hope that this you can use it. And whenever I will get opportunity to tell you where exactly we use in the ETL testing, which all these things, because we are just learning the basics right now. So that part also I will be covering. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. And I think if you have not subscribed it, do consider to subscribe this as a token of appreciation. And also, I think you can check the content of entire ETL testing, and if you need any specific suggestions, any specific topics you want me to cover, do comment on the videos, and then I will be able to take it up. All right, and that's all for this video. And thank you for watching, and God bless you. Bye.